Hey Brickmaniacs, it's time for another episode of Brickmania TV. Yitzy's wearing a hat. So today on Brickmania TV, we have the SU-85 designed by Yitzy.
Yes, sir.
Why don't you go over some details, Yitzy?
Okay.
Cool.
Do you want to talk about the history first?
We can.
Okay.
Does it have history?
Of course it has a history.
Some tanks don't have histories.
Right. I have the gloves on just because it's, they're not Russian gloves. They're not tanker gloves.
You just have them.
I just have them.
That's all right.
Because it's Minnesota. Minnesota is pretty much Siberia.
It's already winter.
It's basically Siberia.
Yeah.
We get minus 50 sometimes. So, the SU-85 is a tank destroyer. Like other tank destroyers, they would take anti-aircraft guns and figure out how to mount it in a tank chassis, and so they would be more powerful than other tanks. So this is this one was modeled off of the T-34-76.
You can see a bit of resemblance there.
So they basically modified the hull, opened it up as two generals that were assigned to do that. They took this. The 85 would represent the bore of the gun, and so the 76 was smaller. They needed something that could shoot at a safe distance and able to take out a Tiger tank. And they also heard that the Panther tank was being produced, and they needed something to counter that.
Right.
So the SU-76 and the T-34-76 was just not adequate enough, so they had this 85 millimeter anti-aircraft gun. They figured out how to mount it in here, and thus became the SU-85. It was produced a little over for about a year, 1943 to the end, mid-1943 to the end of 1944. They made about 2,050 or so.
Sure.
And then once the T-34-85 was made, these sort of became obsolete. They didn't really need it, but they upgraded it. So the factories that were making this upgraded to the SU-100.
Okay.
So they made a bigger gun, same idea.
They managed to fit a larger anti-aircraft gun.
Pretty much. They're always trying to up it. Yep.
So when this hit the battlefield, what was the combat effectiveness of this? Or
it was able to do what the 76s couldn't. It was definitely effective, and they used it as such. There was one more upgrade that there was an SU-85M, which more or less did the same thing. It just had an upgraded cupola, more or less. And the big difference you would see, let's say, between 85 and SU-100 is the 100 would have an extended commander's cupola going out the side. So that's why if you'd see the 85 from this angle, you wouldn't necessarily know if it's an SU-85 or an SU-100. But once you go to this side and you miss that, then you know right away it's an 85. Yeah.
That's the history.
That's the history.
As for the kit itself, let's get right into it.
So much like the real deal where they modified a chassis, so the the T-34-76, which had a turret, and the Lego one that Daniel Siskin designed, I actually took his model of the T-34-76 and started from the ground up with that chassis, and that's pretty much it. So basically the road wheels.
It was an effective design that Dan put together, so.
Yeah, we just went right from there. I wanted to model it off of just kind of like the real thing, just like the real thing. Was,
so this will fit really, really well next to one of Dan's previous kits. So.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, and so then I basically, once I got past the wheels there, at that point, it did need heavy modification. The back up here where the engine compartment is pretty similar. The back hatch has changed from being square to round. That does open.
Nice.
You got an opening hatch here, which guy can fit. The whole
That
thing.
one opens up in the back.
So this one opens up in the back. There's a place for a guy to sit. It does come with a guy. He's inside. It fits a driver. That hatch does open. I'll show you in a second. And there it goes. Lifts out.
That's some serious
There's your
playability right there. That's cool.
So
it's only held on, that whole section here is held on by a few studs. So
yeah, it's held on by a couple
nice
studs.
And easily removable.
Yes, it is strong enough that it'll hold just
I believe
fine.
you. All right.
But if you just pick the back up, tilt it forward, out it goes.
Cool.
It does fully come apart though. If you want to access the engine compartment and stuff,
there we go.
you can get right in there.
That's cool.
So the guy is in there. You designed this print, I think, for the Pike, the IS-3.
IS-3, yep.
And we used the same guy with the printed Ushanka.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll take him out.
And then we have, of course, the hammer installed.
I'll give him the, yeah. So what's the purpose of this hammer?
Well, in case one of the levers, gets stuck or something, you just
so
this gear.
This tank destroyer came stock with a big old hammer.
Yes, absolutely.
To just smack stuff around inside of there.
Why not? Also, in case anything else falls apart, just you got to know where to smack.
All right. Some other features. We have a little bit of there's a printed tile up top.
Open this guy.
Oh. So
That
yes,
one opens.
this front little hatch opens.
Yeah, the driver hatch opens, so you could actually see the guy. The driver can look through there.
You can look through here or attempt to crawl out and fall out. There we go.
But he can sit also back here. This is a nice armored plate.
Yeah.
There's the front. So
Kinda
if
peek his
they're
head
driving
around
along, or he can peek over the top, but there's a nice place for him to sit, tucked away in there.
Right, so printed guy, there's a printing on this, what is this, a little viewport? And there's a sticker pack that comes with it.
Yes.
That includes a variety of different numbers, so if you want to use the instructions, maybe with your own pieces to build more tanks, you can have a few different tanks with different numbers.
Yeah, we included a nice sticker pack with this that this is one option.
Yep.
But there are enough stickers in there to do a whole line. If you took the instructions and you modified it, or you made, I don't know, at least 4, 6, 8 tanks, you can put their red, Russian stars to put on there. There are numbers, there are white stripes. The one other really nice thing about this is I came up with a new design for the barrel. So you can traverse right and left and elevation and depression. I just call it the joystick because it goes all around, but you can go up, down, right, left.
Yeah.
Generally, they would kind of do like a bottleneck sit at the end of a road.
Yeah.
And so there's a road down there. You got trees. Where are they going to go? Once you have a column, coming down the line, it doesn't need much, to go right.
So the
and
real
left
one
and up
could
and down.
actually go left and right a little bit.
Yeah, it could. So I wanted to accomplish that.
You can do a little bit of that.
Yeah.
It's nice and
New
sturdy.
feature.
And I also noticed, I believe this is a brick arms piece.
It is a brick arms barrel. Yes, we did use that in the A7V.
Yep. That's what their first.
Also that was the first one. Will made a brick arms prototype for that, and then we also used it on the Mark V.
Yep.
That was I think it was dark tan, but we went ahead back to the dark gray for this one, and it tapers the barrel.
Yeah,
really
nice
nicely.
little taper to it, so it's cool.
Yeah, I mean that's about it. Pretty simple, but it works.
Cool kit. And then also, just a little side note here, we got another mini kit coming out to go with it, a little micro tank. And this is perfect for your card game, Bricks of War. Don't show them that side, we're not supposed to show this side.
Yeah, we have a new game coming out. You guys know, probably scooping up all those cute little micro tanks.
Yeah,
this one's designed by Eric. It is not designed by me. But it's cool.
But, oh, isn't that cute?
A lot more coming out.
Little baby tank. This is how it comes out of the factory, and then after a little while.
Out of the Brickmania factory, absolutely.
All right.
Thank you for watching.
On that note, that's the episode of Brickmania TV. Thanks for watching.
Hello.
Yitzy, you have a tank.
Do you know how to say how are you in Russian?
I don't.
Kagdila.
Kagdula.
Kagdila. How are you? Can you say how are you?
No, I can't. You got the
You
SU.
try.
Kagdula.
Dila.
Dula.
Dila. Very good.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Хорошо, very good.